Hey, my name's Mike Johnson, and I am excited to just share this time with you right now. Just wanted to just take a moment, just to take a deep breath. We're getting towards the end of the week here, and I wanted to just reflect back and just think about just how we started out this week. Justin talking about Paul and the story that he's writing to the Romans, and just this excitement that Paul had, and you could see this excitement, this eagerness as Sean was sharing this story about this gift that we've all been given as believers in Christ, and just the privilege that we have to go out and to share this gift, this gift called the good news. And just wanted to think about that. We all have this good news within us. We all have a story, whether it's short or long or whatever. We all have a story within us that we can share with others. And it's called our story. It's your story. And, you may be thinking, well, I don't really have a story, or my story's boring, or, I don't really know how to share my story. I wanted to just kind of take that idea of Paul writing this letter to the Romans and telling them who he was and what he was about and what he wanted to accomplish. He's kind of writing out some goals and all this stuff. And I wanted you to take some time this weekend and sit down and to do that, to take some time to think about your story. This is when I accepted Christ, and this is my story, and I just want to take the opportunity to share this with others like Paul. And maybe it's some friends, or maybe it's somebody, a family member, or whoever it might be. I want you to just take some time and to ponder that and to think about, God, who can I share my story with this weekend? And so I just want to encourage you to do that. Hopefully you've read through Romans 1 through 17, like Sean was saying yesterday. And maybe there's a verse that sticks out to you. And I just encourage you to take that verse, to write it down, and to begin to process it and to memorize it. I was reading that in 15 and 16. Verse 15 and 16 really stood out to me. And just 16, talking about how Paul was not ashamed because of his message, was the good news about Christ. It was a message of salvation. It had life-changing power, and it was for everyone. When you are tempted to be ashamed, remember what the good news is all about. If you focus on God and what God is doing in the world rather than on your own inadequacy, you won't be ashamed or embarrassed. You might be thinking, I don't really want to share my story. I'm kind of embarrassed, or I don't know what to say. Just ask God, and He will provide the words for you. He will just bring the right words that you need to share with somebody at that right time. And I just love how Paul just talks about how Paul was not ashamed because his message was the good news about Christ. And we just need to just learn, bring that back. Just how can I be eager about this story, about this good news, and just bring that eagerness back. So let's think about it. What's your story? I encourage you to write it down this weekend. And not only write it down, but go and find somebody to share it with, okay? Buy them a Coke, buy them a coffee, and sit down and take the time to find out what their story is and say, hey, you know what? I've got this story that I've been meaning to share with you, and I just am really excited about it. Can I share my story with you? And let's see where it takes you. All right. Hey, have a good weekend, and we'll check you next week.